All right, welcome everybody. I am Bill Kallestad.
And I'm Amy Campbell.
Welcome to our first official infoNET Capital Snapshot, a short video where we'll kind of recap what happened last week at the Iowa Capitol.
That's right. We know you get a lot of emails every week, so we decided we wanted to do something a little different, put a video out to kind of give you the highlights of the week.
The Iowa legislators are back at work. They're back up at the Capitol, and they have 100 days to do their work. They started on Monday, January 10th, and they've got a lot to do.
That's right. You know, they do have 100 days, and they actually said they're going to try to get done in 90 days. So
wow.
That's a pretty aggressive, but sometime in April, they will be completing their work, and I think they're going to get it with the pace they've set already. The governor, the highlight of this week is the governor has presented her priorities, and there's three main themes that we kind of picked out of that. One is tax cuts. The governor wants to cut the amount of money you're paying into the state, the amount of money coming out of your paycheck and going to the state. She wants to make sure that Iowans can keep more of their paychecks. And then workforce is a huge issue, and I think all of our folks that are listening know that. You can't have services without the people that deliver those. And so everyone's looking for a solution on that, the governor, legislators alike. And then the governor really wants to get government out of the way for people. She wants to give Iowans more choices. She says she trusts Iowans to make the right choices about health care and education and in their businesses. So she wants to give people more of those opportunities. So kind of after what you've heard this week, is there anything that gives you hope for people with disabilities in what you've heard this first week?
Sure, there's things to be excited about certainly in there. I think the thing that is that I heard continuously this week is the focus on workforce. We know that with the latest finding from the Department of Justice, but also with a lot of presentations by the HCBS leadership at Medicaid, there's a lot of focus on workforce and improvement of services. So I'm really happy about that, and I think that's a great thing. And the more discussion about choice, we know choice is so important to the individuals in Iowa, so that makes me optimistic.
Yeah.
But I'm a little concerned about some of the cuts. Tell me about those.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot from other organizations. They're really worried about these tax cuts proposed by the governor. It's about a little over $1 billion out of our $8 billion budget. So that's, you know, an eighth of the budget. That's a big chunk. And when you look at how much we spend in the state on Medicaid, on human services, things like food stamps and other kinds of things like that, other assistance to families, and then on education, that is the majority, huge majority of our state budget. It's a lot of money, and so people are worried about what that means to continue to support the services that Iowans depend on.
So that certainly makes me worried. I think it's an important question. Here's the idea, right, Amy? They've set a goal to cut $1 billion, but how they do that, they haven't made that determination. And so the things that I think about, or that I've heard advocates speak about, is will they still be able to address the waiting list that's so concerning in the state of Iowa? Or are they going to look at systems changes so people might have to do with less, when we already know sometimes that's been the challenge this last year? So if there's less money, that would mean there could be changed systems. So that's really important for them to engage with their legislator and ask them, okay, so here's the cuts. What does that mean to me?
Yeah, I think that's a really important point. What a lot of people don't know is the governor just presents her priorities like the DD Council does. So you have a list of priorities and you present them to her, to the legislature. Ultimately, it's the legislators' decision on what they want to do. So the governor's a lot like you, Bill. She's a lot like the DD Council. She has her list. She has somebody like you that goes up to the Capitol and pushes to get those ideas into law. And so ultimately your legislators are going to make that decision.
So she said, these are my three things that I would cut. Here's how I would like to cut the dollars. But I never really had thought about that. So but I always think the governor carries more weight than me. I'm one person.
Well, that's true, but actually you do outnumber her. I mean, you've got 24 members on your council.
Correct.
You've got your network of Iowans with disabilities. That's
thousands of Iowans, yep.
Yeah. And then you take those Iowans with disabilities and add in their service providers, their families, their friends, people in their community that know them. And that's a lot of people. They outnumber the governor. And But I mean, it does take advocacy. You actually have to contact your legislators, you have to speak out, and you have to be loud.
So it can be a little scary for people. What's something easy I could do to get started?
Well, actually, go to infonetiowa.org is a really good part, the DD Council's website that has all of these resources. We've got our updated advocacy guide. You can find out who your legislators are on that website. You can use our Action Center to email them. You don't even need to know what their email addresses are. You don't need to know who your legislator is. The system does it for you. You just have to tell your story. You also have lots of other resources like the guide to the Iowa legislature on there.
So I can search and find my legislator. I can even find out who's participating on what committee and let them know what I'm thinking or what my priorities are, or even what the DD Council's priorities are, which we'll learn more about today. One thing I'd also point out, on that website, you can find out if there are certain legislators that are hosting town halls. They're often back in their own area on Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they might be having a coffee or they might be having a breakfast. And I could find that information out there. I also could track bills. If I'm that interested, I could find a bill, and we'll have that information out there for them. I think those are great places to get started. So maybe a goal would be contact your legislator here this week and let them know these are the things I'm hearing, or these are the things I'm concerned about, and what do they think about those choices.
That's a great idea. That's a great place to start. Well, that's it for today. Hope you tune in next week. We'll be sending these out every Monday with our quick capital report. And you can find out more at infonetiowa.org.
Thank you. Well, say goodbye, Amy.
Goodbye, Amy.